as the Pirates, for the very first time this year, Dan, it's a 100-yard kickoff return for a score.
Exactly what you need if you're on the road against RCC, a team who hasn't lost a game, and you said it, over 2 decades? That's impressive right there. That's a total of 3 seasons, 10 games each year.
That's the third kickoff return for a score this year. And the Tigers, for one of the first times, they allow a special teams gaff. That is the longest return they've allowed this year. And they better be awfully careful here, as Ventura, off of turnovers and big plays, is part of the reason why they won 5 consecutive games in one of the toughest conferences. The extra point snap is botched as the backup quarterback will wing it to the end zone and nearly was caught off a rebound for a score, but instead 6-3 is the tally here.
That
with
looked designed, Nick.
To go.
That sort of looked designed, like if the quarterback was going to keep that, roll out to the far side. Unfortunately, way inaccurate on that. Ball out of bounds, incomplete. So it looks like a field goal match, more like a baseball score right now, 6-3, 11:03 remaining in this first quarter right here, Nick.
Yeah, 6:03, 11:03 to go. My apologies. Again, Nick Rice and Dan Godino joining you live from the National Sports Radio station on Spreaker.com. The Pirates, led by their all-star quarterback, Mark Evans, a sophomore, led the Pirates to one of the best offensive production in the state of California, and he'll have to watch You'll have to watch that Tiger offense return to the field,
which is exactly what Nicholas King wants. If I'm him, I mean, it's your first playoff game at the JUCO level. A lot to prove. You came into the season in week 3 as the official starter, so a lot of question marks still surrounding Nicholas King.
Nicholas King only made 1 interception. Now is in the win against L.A. Harbor. The kickoff for Ventura will be down to the end zone for a touchback. And the Tigers on their first possession were able to put up 3 points on the board on a 5-play, 20-yard scoring drive. And in the meantime, it looks like Riverside is electing to go to the quick throw, and it's worked awfully well, at least so far.
Yes, it has, and that's because of the deep threat ability of Isaac Whitney, I guess, and Michael Stallone. So those cornerbacks playing a little off, therefore that quick screen pass is going to be there.
Well, of the 8 teams in the junior college playoffs, Ventura ranks dead last in total defense, allowing 421.9 yards per game, including nearly 300 in passing. Nicholas King off to a relatively strong start. Christopher Anderson on a first down give. Reaches around the 27-yard line, make it a gain of 2.
If I'm Riverside, I'm really missing Denzel Foster right off the bat. Christopher Anderson doing a decent job thus far, but the moves that Denzel Foster puts into the game, constantly breaking tackles, constantly making moves on guys.
It just is not the same.
Yeah.
Well, West Valley High School product Christopher Anderson is in. He's the pistol back behind King. He'll take his third handoff across the 30, squirms through a hole, keeps on going, and reaches around the 33-yard line. But there is a flag down in the area of holding, and have we seen that a time or two, Dan?
Yeah, we've seen it actually a little bit too much this season. It's one of the things we questioned them all year. In the playoffs, can penalties hurt them? Well, we're about to find out tonight.
Yeah. There are 69 junior college playoff teams. Riverside ranks 68th. Second to last in penalties with 131 for over 1,100 yards. Hasn't been that kind of a year as far as penalties go. They were sluggish in the first half, got a little bit better towards the second half of the year, yet as of late it has been more than an issue. Back-to-back games with over 100 yards in flag. Shotgun snap, King looking right, wings it that way, caught by Anderson, but he'll be spun down behind the line. That'll be a loss of 2. Tackle made for the Pirates by Marquise Price, the sophomore, in there for the tackle for loss.
And we instantly see the problems that penalties create. Right there now, all of a sudden, you've got a 3rd and long, deep in your own territory. You might punt the ball and give Ventura great field position. So this is the cause for concern if you're Riverside.
3rd and 21 here from the Jungle, trailing 6-3. The Tigers already in an early hole following the kickoff return touchdown. Shotgun snap, King will keep up the middle across the 15, and he'll try his best to get the penalty yardage back and reaches the 22. Instead of a 3rd and 21, now make it a 4th and 13, and just a couple garbage yards in on the punt. But before that, we do have a man down on the field. Unfortunately, I believe that we'll have to wait and see. That's not Michael Stallone, is it?
From our vantage point, we can't tell right now.
It's one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, he looks like he's grimacing in pain, the way his body is shifting back and forth on the ground. But let's hope it's not too serious. But that last play, Nicholas King just taking the quarterback keeper, it looks like Tom Kraft, the coach of RCC, was convinced, hey, let's just get a few yards, give our punter some more room, and give that ball back to Ventura and place them a little bit deeper in their own territory. So a little bit of strategy involved in there, despite not getting a first down.
Well, in the conference, Riverside only allowed 5 total touchdowns. It's been a phenomenal effort by that defense. Unfortunately, the special teams has been part of the problem here, as we still have a man down on the field. Last week, Matthew Parrish, the offensive lineman out of Ukaipa, was injured and couldn't return to our final matchup against Citrus College. Now this week, same story out for it looks to be, boy, could it be Matthew Parrish again? Would that be awfully unfortunate? Parrish did practice this week, and he's out on the field for tonight's ball game. Again, 9:22 to go. Tigers trail 6-3 to the upstart 6-4 Ventura Pirates. We're holding strong in this ball game. In fact, the injured man is for the Tigers, number 63, Terrell Battle, sophomore out of E.I. Lucas in Georgia.
It's unfortunate for him to go out in his sophomore year here.
Well, back deep to receive is a man who has scored time and time again. It's Paul Harris, who already had the kickoff return touchdown. And, yes, it is awfully unfortunate, Dan, as he hobbles with the help of James Norman and Darius Jeter out to the sideline.
Special teams already a little iffy tonight. Let's see if the punt team can back up that special teams unit. And
well, we have the number one, does the Tigers, number one punter, number one kicker as far as field goals and punt average in the state of California. But that was our first kickoff return score allowed of the season, as Paul Harris stands at his own 39. It'll be a towering kick, but short, as the ball will bounce inside the 40, recovered by the up man at around the 39-yard line, and rallied right around there. Travis Crawley on the return, no gain.
Hey, if I'm Ventura, I'm feeling okay right now. On the road against this powerhouse that is Riverside. Up 3 points, 9:01 remaining in this first quarter. I'm in decent field position right here on the 40 of my own side, so I'm feeling great if I'm Ventura. Decent start.
Yeah, 9:01 to go, first quarter. Out of the jungle, 6-3 Pirates on top of the number one team in the state, Riverside City College. And what really helps the Pirates, Dan, is that their strength is running the football. Aaron Stanton into the game. He motions to the right, pass over the middle, incomplete, going to Chris Marshall. Now make it a 2nd and 10.
I don't even know if it was intended for Marshall, because his 2 wide receivers to the near side both ran the same route. Looks like total miscommunication right there for sure.
Well, there are some questions as to whether Treshawn Broughton would play in tonight's ball game, and he is not. Into the ball game is the sophomore Cortland Fort, 1-on-1 against 5'9" Chris Marshall on a 2nd and 10. 5-man rush. It'll be a handoff on a delay. Aaron Stanton able to zigzag his way out to around the 44. Shimmies for a gain of 4.5, maybe 5.
So now this game, we already have Denzel Foster out, a critical piece in that offense, and Treshawn Broughton. I would say the number one cornerback for this RCC defense.
I would say the number one at offense for the Tigers production-wise has to be Denzel Foster. Number one on defense, Treshawn Broughton. And into the game also is Brock Carmen in his place at linebacker. Deep drop for Mark Evans, who floats the ball to Aaron Stanton, and that run will be blown up immediately. Tackle made by Jeremiah Mitchell and company. Devontae Wilson in there as well. And the Pirates lose 6 and have to punt the football away. It'll be their first 3 and out.
Screen plays are supposed to be nice and smooth. Right there, nothing but that. That pass totally stopping that running back in his tracks, and then RCC just gang tackling him. Big stop right there on first down.
Now, Riverside's among the top in defense, and part of that has been their third down efficiency rating, as they only allow a 31% third down conversion rate. And most of the time, they go 3rd and short. The opponents do. That was a 3rd and 8 in conversion and into punted away is Isaiah Jackson, the cornerback as well for the Pirates, and he'll boot it out to around the 26-yard line. Tigers again start from inside their own 30.
Not much going on the RCC offensive side, but good chance here to take this lead back. Hopefully, at the least, just tie it up at 6.
Well, you're winning the turnover differential with that forced fumble. Also, the offensive battle is heavily in your favor, but it's just that kickoff return that really put the Tigers into a huge hole. Isaac Whitney, who has been relatively cold, in fact, library quiet in this last month of the 2014 campaign. He's into the ball game, a 3-wide set. King will hand off to Christopher Anderson, who will bounce his way out across tackles to around the 30-yard line, make it a gain of 5.
RCC tonight has to be ultra patient on the offensive side. They're not going to get the big plays, it seems like. Already early on, Ventura holding that running attack really well. So, hey, if you're going to do it, you've got to be doing it slowly. 3 yards a pop, 4 yards a pop. You're not going to see the big runs of Denzel Foster where he's getting 10 yards per run, it seems like.
Well, when you look at that holding penalty on first down last time, 3 yards is better than nothing if you're the Tigers. Quick throw complete to Duran Burton, who will sprint his way for a Tiger first down. Move the chains, it's a gain of 7.
Yeah, I almost get the feeling Ventura doesn't mind those intermediate passes. They're going to keep that in front of them and avoid the big deep pass because they are only playing just one safety, it seems like, protecting that run game for sure.
Yeah, it's obvious. The game plan for the Tigers is to pass short and run the football by the bunches. 6:42 to go. Tigers trail 6-3 here at home. Delay handoff to Anderson across the 40-yard line, and he will crawl his way to around the 42, making a gain of 3.
Yeah, let's continue that conversation about the running game. It's going to be difficult. Ventura dropping up to 6 players in the box, leaving a lone safety. Again, they're doing the same thing, just a lone safety back there. Let's see if Riverside could somehow, some way, do this play action and go deep.
Now the Pirates are basically begging that deep throw there, Dan. A 4-wide set.
We're bound to see it.
The Pirates crowd the line of scrimmage here. They'll rush 5. Quick throw to the far side, complete. That'll be a gain of Alejandro Marenco is still going. And he'll, well, what I thought was a tackle behind the first down marker ends up being a 7-yard completion to Alejandro Marenco, move the chains.
Not the biggest guy, 5'11", only 185, but he plays so much bigger right there, improving it. Getting the ball to the flats, to the far side, taking that ball and just grinding those feet, trying to get some extra yards for sure.
Well, during the first 3 weeks of the year, Alejandro Marenco had 0 receptions. Now that'll be catch number 13 for him, towards the top production-wise over the last month for the former Alif Taylor High School product out of North Texas. 1st and 10, a shotgun snap. King looking long, throws deep. He's got Isaac Whitney with a step, but over the head of the USC offered. With 11 offers for Isaac Whitney, a man who has been highly touted, he has just not been a reliable target this year. I took a look at the numbers, Dan, and he is only catching 50% of the balls thrown his way. That'll be dead last on the football team.
Wow, that's an impressive number. But he's still the number one target
impressive
for sure.
or the other way?
Yeah, impressive in a bad way, I would say. Almost shocking, actually.
A bootleg on a 2nd down. Whips it out. Far side is complete for a bone-jarring gain of 4 to Darius Jeter out to around the 44-yard line. The Tigers started this march here, Dan, all the way at their own 25, yet are slowly but surely, this being the 8th play of a long march, now are near the Ventura 40.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the possession. Patience, and it seems like RCC has it right now. I would give it to Christopher Anderson and dig those last 2 yards for that first down.
Christopher Anderson in for the injured Denzel Foster, who leads the team with over 750 yards rushing. He'll get the delay handoff, pick up a first down, and squirm his way out to around the 38-yard line. Make it a gain of 4, move the chains. That'll be the 3rd first down, Dan, on this drive alone.
Ventura obviously doesn't mind. They're keeping everything in front of them, and it has the feel of, hey, this is going to be a slow running type of a game for sure.
Right. Well, this is an opportunistic defense if you're the Ventura College Pirates. They will bend, mind you, last in the junior college playoff teams in total defense, but they are first in turnover differential and are forcing double-digit interceptions and fumbles this year. Well, we'll have a false start on the offensive side. The Tigers